That's pole. Congratulations. Fantastic drive. Well done. Let's carry this through to the race.
Hello and welcome to Germany. This is round 9 of Season 2 of F1 2013 Career Mode. And as you guys saw just then, we are starting from pole position in this race. But the bad news is the race will be fully wet conditions. So all the pace that I had in dry conditions is going to be thrown completely out the window. As you know, dry setups or pace and consistency doesn't really convert to wet conditions. So we'll see how we go for the race. Alright, so here we are on the German Grand Prix on the grid, starting from pole position. These results have been few and far between. Let's try and get a good one today. 5 lights, and away we go. We're starting off in lean conditions, in lean revs, just to minimize the wheel spin. Seems to have worked, but not in third gear. We've got a burst of wheel spin, and now we're conceding about 2 or 3 positions now. And we're down to 4th place coming into turn 1. Trying to hold our line around the outside. That should give us a little bit of traction, but unfortunately we just weren't able to carry the speed that the AI cars were, and we're down to 3rd place behind our teammate Nico Rosberg, who's also struggling for rear traction in that fellow Mercedes there, but he's struggling just a little bit more compared to Vettel, so we'll try and get around him as soon as possible. We don't want Vettel to just bolt away with this race. That'd be an absolute nightmare because, as you know, we're battling with Vettel for the championship, so we'll get around the outside of Rosberg there, and a fairly nice and clean overtakes to start off this race. So there we go. Up into P2, Vettel is about a second up the road, so we'll need to catch him as soon as possible. So now cutting to lap 4, and we started to reel him in a little bit. Seems like he's struggling as well at the early phase of this race. We got the inside coming into the final chicane, and that's the lead now for the taking. So what we got to do now is try and stretch out this lead as much as possible without trying to hurt the tyres or burn too much fuel, to be honest, because I'm starting from the aggressive fuel strategy. So I've got about 3 laps less fuel than everyone else in the field, and throughout this race I'll need to save a lot of fuel. So I'll pretty much be doing that anyway, running lean revs pretty much through the entire first sector, through those traction zones, and it should save the tyres a little bit. But now it's lap 16 and I'll be coming in for another set of wet tyres. I had to think about going on to intermediate tyres, but it's just not wet enough at this stage. The track isn't drying enough at this stage, so may as well come in for a new set of inters. What am I saying? I'm coming in for a new set of wets. Sorry guys, I'm going for the undercut. I think the game was telling me to go about 20 laps on the wet tyres, but I was starting to lose time to Alonso. I got the lead out to about 10 seconds or 12 seconds, and then it got down to about 8 seconds just before I pitted, so I didn't want to lose any more time than that. I'm going to put on a new set of wet tyres and hopefully get some kind of advantage from this. The AI cars are going to be staying up for another 4 laps or something like that, so I'll be lapping at about a second, 2 seconds a lap faster than them, and look at that, 3 laps later we've already caught up to the back of Alonso. The benefit from fresh wet tyres is absolutely outstanding. The wet tyres are head and shoulders above anyone else on older tyres in the field. I think if you're in like a Williams, you could probably be the fastest car in the field, or even a Marussia or a Caterham, you could be at least midfield pace if you put on a new set of wet tyres. It just gives that much of an advantage. It's ridiculous, but unfortunately the wet tyres actually aren't that durable. They go off after the first 5 laps, so you've really got to make hay with your new tyres and try and gain as much time as possible, but then after that 5 lap window you've just got to preserve the tyres for the rest of the stint now, and my tyres are starting to go off now. Lap 38, I've done about 19 laps on this set of tyres as well, and now I'm locking up into the final chicane. I've pretty much got to come in for a new set of tyres again because I'm starting to leak out a lot of time to Alonso behind, and I make a late call to come in to the pits because Alonso was right behind me, and I didn't want my tyres to fall off the cliff at that very moment because Alonso would just get away. So I'm going to put on a set of intermediate tyres as well. The track seems to be drying out a little bit. I could feel the grip starting to go away, and it wasn't just because the tyres were going off. It was because, you know, the drops on the screen were minimizing, and yeah, the track was starting to get a lot faster because a lot of other teams were going a lot faster. So coming in out of the pits now, we've rejoined in position 2. We're about 15 seconds behind Alonso, and hopefully I've made the right call here. I really hope that the track is dry enough for inters at the moment. But unfortunately it wasn't. I started to lose a lot of time to Alonso, and he's actually come in for another set of wet tyres, so the gap is now down to 9 seconds. But the track is drying, and I believe Alonso is coming in again for another stop. So he's made 3 stops in this race compared to my 3. So I think 3? Yeah, 3 stops. So now Alonso, because he made that extra pit stop when he really didn't need to, he's lost the lead to myself. And I've got the lead back now, so I'll try and stretch out this lead as much as possible. But since I've done a lot of laps on these intermediate tyres, now they are starting to go off. And Alonso, with his fresher inters, he's all over me right now, and he's going to pass me in just a matter of laps. But now the track is drying out even more again, and it's only going to be a matter of time before it's time for a set of dry tyres. So this is going to save me a little bit if the track dries up quick enough before I need to put on a new set of intermediate tyres. It might just save me, but I go around the outside of Alonso, who had a lot of straight line speed over me in this race. I think I was running with higher aero, something like 5 or 6.1 aero, so it's a lot higher than what I normally run, but I was just using that to get through the middle sector a little bit better. But now, lap 49, the track is drying out quite considerably. I'm now searching for the wet patches on the road, going off the race line, just trying to keep the tyres cool, and that means that I can stay out a little bit longer on the intermediate tyres, because they're actually going off quite a lot now. And I'm just searching for standing water on the track just so I can keep those tyres cool, and it'll make a big difference in the end in terms of staying out longer and keeping the tyres cool and gripped up and whatnot. So now it's lap 50. I'm coming in for a set of option tyres at the end of this lap, and I think the rest of the field will come in too, because there's now a dry line appearing over the whole track, and I think it's definitely time for dry tyres. So I'm coming in. Will Alonso come in with me? Let's have a look. Yes, he is. So Alonso makes the right strategy call, and that, to me, confirms that I've made the right call as well. So hopefully we get a good pit stop here. Alonso is right behind me, and if my Mercedes pit crew give me a bad one here, we might actually get jumped here. So we really need a good pit stop here. What's it going to be? 3 point something. Oh no, we're being held up for the Marussias. There goes Alonso, and another Marussia goes in there as well. He's going to be stacked in behind his teammate. Unfortunate for them, but crucially we have lost the lead, and now we've got to get it back, and we got to take some risks without losing too much time, because the track is still a little bit wet offline. There's still some puddles, but now lap 53, I think it's starting to go away a little bit now. We're trying to go around the outside into turn 1 with the DRS open, into turn 1. Holding it around there nicely, and Alonso just gives me the spot there. He just can't maintain the speed through the inside line. But now we've got caught up on the marbles and on the wet stuff a little bit, and we got a wall of understeer there. And look at the marbles just gathering all over our tyres there, and my tyres are absolutely feeling terrible at the moment. Just got no grip, and I'm weaving the wheel in frustration because I just couldn't drive for that first part of the lap, and now I got onto the wet stuff there as well. Cost me time. Coming up the inside of Alonso, lap 54. We get the lead back, but hopefully this time we can make the move stick. There's not enough, there's no water there anymore, so we managed to make the move stick without any understeer there. So now Alonso is actually coming back at us again with the DRS open on lap 55. He's going to make the move into turn 1. Will he make the move stick? No, he doesn't. The AI just tend to back off if they're caught on the inside. But now, the end of lap 55, Alonso has DRS again, and that Ferrari is so quick in a straight line. It's just almost impossible to fight with him, considering I've got a higher aero. Why did I say I've got 6.1 aero? I've got 6.6 aero. I'm running with the stock standard setup. I don't know why I said 6.1 aero before. I got confused with a different race I was doing, so sorry about that. But lap 57, I'm coming back at Alonso, and my tyres are actually starting to go off the cliff a little bit. Not completely, but it's starting to make a little bit of a difference now. Trying to go up the inside of Alonso into the final chicane. I don't know what the corner names are around this track. I'm actually pretty terrible for that across most of the tracks on this calendar, so I apologise for that. But now coming out of the final corner, we've got a nice run on Alonso, but the dirty air effect is starting to have a little effect on this this little battle here. and it's just enough to keep me behind through high-speed corners, and it just helps the lead car just that little bit. But we get up the inside of Alonso coming into turn 1, and hopefully this time we can hold it. I'm going to need to burn off all of my 3 laps of fuel in the last couple of laps just to maintain position, but it's still not working. Alonso is just so fast in that Ferrari, it's just no point even trying to defend. We go back up the inside. I leave him room for what turns into the inside for his corner, but he didn't make the move stick there. Just AI not bold enough when we're going side by side, but this time Alonso is a little bit further up this time, and he might make the move stick into the final chicane, and yes he does. I got caught up on the curb there. It actually gave me a whole lot of wheel spin, and it just degrades and overheats my tyres even more, which just adds to the pain really. So we're coming on to the final lap now, and I've still got 2 or 3 laps of fuel up my sleeve, so I could have been a bit better with my fuel managing. I didn't burn enough, but we got up the inside of Alonso into turn 1. Hopefully this time it's enough. We've outbroken ourselves, and he might actually get the spot back. Yes, he does. Ah, that's so unlucky, so frustrating. So we'll need to get that spot back in the last dying moments of this race. I'm thinking about a move with the DRS on the back straight, or maybe even saving a bit of my curves for the run up to the line, but that's going to be very risky as I dip a wheel into the gravel there, and that's hurt my momentum a little bit. But I need to get a nice exit coming off this corner here. Just got to set myself up, use about half of my curves, maybe even more if I set up the move right. Opening the DRS now, and Alonso is a long way up the road. He's about 6 or 7 tenths, so I don't think we're going to be able to make the move stick. He's just too far ahead, so I'm going to save all of my curves for this run out of the final corner. This is it, guys, the final corner. I've got to set myself up, make sure I get a nice clean exit, no wheel spin, just tuck in nicely, get a nice smooth exit, use up the rest of the curves, but it's not enough. The DRS and the straight is just too short, and Alonso gets away with another win this season.
Second place. Brilliant driving. Brilliant driving.
Well, what can you do about that race? I stuffed it up there. I had a poor run through that middle sector there, and Alonso just got away, and he was too far away to get the lead. So unfortunately, that means we miss out on 7 points. Alonso is going to stretch out the lead to us in the Drivers' Championship, and he's fairly close to Vettel, about 30 points behind. I'm 41 points behind the championship leader as well. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this race. It was very strategical with the rain. Unfortunate that it rained for so long. I didn't have as much pace as I wanted to, but we were still able to come away with a good solid 18 points. And crucially, we finished ahead of Vettel, so that's one positive. So that's been the German Grand Prix for Season 2 of F1 2013 Career Mode. Until I see you guys in the next race, which should be at Hungary, I'll see you guys then.